76. And tomorrow we'll see mostly sunny skies return with light winds and an afternoon high around 89. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and we want to thank all of our customers for a great September. And now it's time for our annual Halloween sales event happening right now at Koppel. Get 0% financing at Koppel. You heard right, 0% financing on select new models. Also, huge discounts up to $11,500 are available. It's our annual Halloween sales event. Get $11,500 off or 0% financing at Koppel. So please stop on by or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did 0% with roof credit.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. This is On the Block with Strickland Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here at the Big 8 tournament champion.
School basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, on air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strickland Austin.
Welcome to On the Block. He's Strick here. What? Wait. It feels empty. Where the heck is Austin Orman? Well, Austin Orman has found himself on the highways and the byways, headed down to KC to partake in MLB playoff baseball. He's going to be there representing us. As you know, some of you, sometimes you'll have to go over to the stream. You don't always get on the radio because they are playing KC Royals games here on 93.7 The Ticket, and also the playoffs are here. October, not a surprise, but it is here, and that is where Austin Norman is at this particular time. Shout out to Austin Norman. Safe travels to you, my friend. We will miss you, but in the meantime, in between time, it is me and my guy, and you know this guy. He isn't anyone new.
Tricky, I'm right here.
Yeah, what are we talking about? We got some.
Yeah, I texted you. Look at your phone.
Oh, I'm thrown up. There he is.
Yeah.
What's up, my guy?
You made it.
I made it.
I knew it was going to be, shaky, but it was going to be a little shaky. But you made it, man. You're missing the good food, though.
I know. I saw the
Yeah.
sliders. I saw the sausage.
Oh.
I saw the red beans, the mac and cheese. Just it's a trade-off, right? It's a disappointing trade-off, but one I felt I needed to make. So I'll survive, but I'll be back next Wednesday. Don't you worry.
Show you right. It's all good, man. Thanks so much for joining us. I know, you're going to enjoy great playoff MLB baseball, man. Shout out to you. And, I just think it's, and I'm going to be honest about this, man, before we get started on the day. Shout out to EEP Foundation Repair as well as the new sponsor for us here on the block. EEP Foundation, man, go and get anything you need handled, get anything you need done as well. You can look to them as well as NEPCO. The NEPCO is still around and available, long time, 1908, doing business here in the community. Nonetheless, what was I going to say? Oh, okay. So tell us what you're hoping to see, because you're getting a chance to now take a look at your guy, your boy, Mr. Witt Jr.
I am.
Up close and personal, live and in 4D. What are you expecting and hoping to see tonight to keep the Royals alive and well and progressing and moving on throughout the playoffs of the MLB? What are you hoping to see while you're down there?
Well, let's start with Bobby Witt Jr., right? He's struggled. He's struggled since the series has flipped from the wild card round to the divisional round. Kind of feels like he's pressing a little bit. He chased a lot out of the zone. That's been uncharacteristic for him, at least in the overview of the season, right? Against Baltimore, not his best performances, but he came up big when it mattered. First player since Jimmy Fox to have go-ahead hits in his first 2 career postseason games. And then against the Yankees, it's been a struggle. He either has 1 hit or no hits. I forget off the top of my head. But he's really the engine in the middle of that offense, Strick. He has been all year hitting in the 2-hole. Vinny Pasquantino is back. He's pressing quite a bit. But you saw even just the impact that Vinny Pasquantino's presence has on Bobby Witt Jr., because Baltimore felt the need to pitch to Bobby Witt Jr., didn't want to get beat by a power bat and Vinny Pasquantino behind him. And that led to the game-winning run in Game 2 of the wild card series. So Bobby Witt Jr. is only amplified by the presence of Vinny Pasquantino's return, Salvador Perez hitting in the 4-hole behind those 2 guys. But really the surprise, Strick, was that there was a good game from leadoff hitter Maikel Garcia, especially in Game 2 that the Royals won. He had 4 hits in the game, which is the first player since, funny enough, his cousin, Alcides Escobar, for the Royals did it back in 2015. That's what Bobby Witt Jr. hasn't had a lot of this season, is guys setting the table in front of him. Whether it's 7, 8, 9 flipping the order over to the leadoff hitter or just the leadoff hitter himself, there hasn't been much going on in front of Bobby Witt Jr. There's been a little bit more traffic on the base paths for him, at least, through the first 4 games of the postseason than he had consistently. So I think Bobby Witt Jr. is trying so hard to live up to the superstar expectations that are on him that he's trying too hard. He's pressing. So the advice is try easier, right? You have a stellar lineup of pitchers behind you. Michael Wacha was pretty solid in Game 1, not perfect. Cole Reagans was kind of squeezed in the zone a little bit, but he did his part. The bullpen has certainly been improved by the midseason acquisitions. And you get your number 2 starter tonight, Seth Lugo, who escaped a lot more damage than he probably should have against Baltimore. But his stuff and the way he pitches plays so well in Kauffman Stadium. You tell Bobby Witt Jr., you don't have to be the hero, right? You can be the best player on the team without feeling the need to go hero mode. And I hope that coming back home, having a day off to travel, getting in familiar surroundings. I mean, think about it, Strick. His first 2 postseason series come at Camden Yards, really famous, really special ballpark, and then Yankee Stadium. I don't care if it's new Yankee Stadium instead of old. you grow up knowing who the New York Yankees are. So hopefully coming back home to Kansas City with the 38,000 plus behind him, hopefully he tries a little bit easier for these next couple games in KC.
Well, the beauty of it all is they did what they had to do. They went on the road and was able to get a 1-1 split out of the series. Coming back is now you're in your home turf, you're in your home court. And to speak to what you were talking about, Bobby Wood Jr., when you're a lot of times when you're a young player and there's high expectations, and you also have a lot of people looking at you as not only one of the best in the game right now, they're talking about you, and you're a small market team. Not many people had high expectations early on for this team, and for you to get to where you are, and you're playing against the juggernaut like the New York Yankees, who is regularly there during the October timeframe of playoff baseball. So it's understandable sometimes, because you, like I say, we talk about it in basketball. You take on that Samson syndrome mentality. You take on that, I got to make something happen. I got to make a play. And sometimes you can start to press and overpress. And like you said, once he settles back in, hopefully he settles back in, being at home now, knowing they got the split, everything can be taken care of while they're in Kansas City. Don't have to make another trip out to New York. Hopefully he'll settle in and get the job done.
That's really what it comes down to for me, Strick, is that any production that the Royals get from really 6, 7, 8, 9 in their lineup is a bonus. I really like the move that Matt Quatraro did in moving Michael Massey up to the leadoff spot for the first couple games. Michael Garcia was there as well. In postseason baseball, even more so than in the regular season, you want your best hitters clustered together. All year it's been 2, 3, 4 for the Royals, as it has been for most teams. But you think of a lineup like the Dodgers that's stacked 1 through 9. Compare that to the Yankees, right, that are okay at leadoff. Then you have Soto and Judge at 2 and 3. Maybe the best two-man combination of the 21st century in baseball. And then a whole lot of we'll see behind it. Neither lineup is very deep. So what's going to decide the series is, yes, of course, which stars show up. Does Aaron Judge get going? I hope not. Does Juan Soto get a big hit? Again, I hope not. For the Royals, though, they've done a good job limiting the Yankees with runners in scoring position. I think 3 of 17 or 3 of 19 so far this series. And you can take that stat one of two ways. Either, the Royals pitching is doing a great job working around danger. They have strikeout stuff. Their defense has graded out as elite pretty much across the diamond all year. Or it's just a matter of time till the Yankees break through. 5 games is a long time, but it's really not at the same time, right? You're already down to a 3-game series. It's whoever wins 2 games out of the next 3 moves on to the American League Championship Series. So it's kind of that battle of trends. Can the Royals pitching, take a step forward and really dominate? Or are the Yankees just hitting into a little bit of bad luck? Like Jazz Chisholm said, they feel like they're fine and the dam's about to burst. That's really what we're going to see over the next couple of days in KC.
Well, there it is. Let's shift the conversation real quick, because big news is now on the forefront as far as the NCAA is concerned. A judge has preliminarily approved for the NCAA settlement, allowing for revenue sharing with the athletes. This is a long process. It's still going to take a lot of time. Things still got to be put on the docket. Appeals still have to be made. But at this point, a federal judge on Monday has granted preliminary approval, and this would allow for a multi-billion-dollar settlement of 3 athletic compensation antitrust cases that are looming, dealing with the NCAA and Power 5 conferences. So this just moves the conversation forward, and it moves it closer to the $2.8 billion in damages pool for not only the current athletes, but also former athletes that span over 10 years, which I'm not happy about. Hence the cough. They should have went a little bit longer. But anyway, I know personally, I was in some commercials. I was in some promotions. I mean, I need mine too, doggone it. No, I'm just playing. But no, so it's on a serious note, man. Well, what is this going to do? Because this is going to change. If this goes through, Austin, this in Harrison, this is going to change the landscape of what we know about college sports as of today. You know what I mean? Now my question then becomes, is it pushing it more towards professionalism? Is it pushing it more towards this is how we need to treat these athletes more so now than just collegiate athletes, or just what's the word I'm looking for, Harrison? Not
amateurs.
They're not pro. There you go, amateurs. You know, does it keep it in that space, or is it moving it more towards that? And do these NCAA universities now need to start treating these players as such? Does the responsibility become more heightened? Like where are we at now that this begins to move forward in this position?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're onto something there, Strick, but I think we might just have to reframe what we mean by professional and amateur, right? Because we've had these definitions from the NCAA really for so long, telling you that professionals get paid, amateurs are supposed to be there for the education or for the love of the game. Were they getting money in their pockets before? Absolutely not. But let's not pretend like getting a scholarship wasn't getting some sort of financial compensation. It was just the baseline, right? It wasn't maybe everything that they should have been receiving before. I'm just interested to see that we got a timeline on this because it was the preliminary approval, and yet we're still in for another 5 or 6 months of discussion, debate, finding out as well, because according to the schedule in what Judge Claudia Wilkin sent out, the final sort of approval date, the motion for final approval, will be March 3rd of 2025. So I guess this is just going to keep playing out. We'll get some final details probably, between now and March 3rd of 2025. Does it? I just go back to, I don't think it does anything. It doesn't make them more professional. It just catches up, right? It makes them more professional in the sense that they're getting paid now, but they always should have been. It can still be, quote unquote, amateur sports, because even if the financial model is certainly more professional, it doesn't change the fact that college athletics are a step below professional athletics, right? So if you made a jump from playing in the Big 8 to playing in the NBA, Jay made a jump from playing in the Big 8 and the Big 12 into the NFL, right? There's still a different level. So I think you can still have professional and amateur sports because there's still that jump in talent and expectations, but now there's another key similarity in that both groups are getting paid.
There you go. What's your initial thoughts on this matter as well? And then I have another question after that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it from my perspective, like, without going to law school and trying to figure out everything within the courts, you guys help me on this one. Is this pushing it more towards, because it makes sense, you're going to restructure the financial model, and it is headed more towards a pro-ish style, but it's still amateur at the end of the day. Is this getting closer? Is this keeping play that universities can make their student athletes employees? Because that's always the one that I circle and try to figure out if more universities are going to go ahead and try and do this.
Strick, I'll jump in on this one. Jay has said for a while now, be careful what you wish for when it comes to that, because if college athletes become employees, guess what? They can get waived.
Be fired.
They be fired. Exactly. So I'm sure it sounds like the easy solution right now is, just make them employees. It solves everything. No, it doesn't. You have to provide benefits to employees. You have to write certain contracts, because that'll all have to apply with, local, state, federal laws at that level there above the board. What I think it's doing more is going to force a split even further between the haves and the have-nots, the Power Four versus everyone else. Strick, we talked about that last week, right? The 72-team division with the 12 conferences of 6 teams and whatnot. You had, 64 teams out of the current 134, or 62, 64, the current 134 or 6, whatever it is, left out and excluded. Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports wrote about this, and I think this is a pretty key paragraph here. The 2-part settlement requires schools to pay roughly $2.8 billion to former athletes for damages of lost name, image, and likeness payments. Okay, we know about that. But here's the part that's going to prove my point. He says, but perhaps more importantly, it permits schools, not requires them, to share millions with their athletes. The settlement's new revenue sharing model is expected to start July 1st, which would be 3-4 months after the settlement gets approved in early March. It permits, but does not require. The schools that can pony up the $23 million per year to share with their student athletes will pay it, should pay it, should be obligated to pay it because of the use of name, image, and likeness. But what does it do to the schools that can't pay? It makes them sub-citizens. It furthers the divide between these two schools, and I think it gives the power brokers that be even more of a rationale to continue along their path of breaking up FBS football as we know it now into that top super division and then leaving everyone else behind.
One quick question before I jump into the NCAA's approval of the 30-day transfer window, because I do definitely want to touch on that. And if we do have a carryover, that's fine. We may do that in the next segment. But here's a question I want to throw out, because the plaintiffs, when you talk about this, there's an instance of an athlete in the sport other than football, men's basketball, and women's basketball who is estimated to be eligible for a claim of more than $1.85 million. So is this going to also create a sports divide, frustration amongst other sports like gymnastics or bowling, or, I mean, obviously bowling's not going to be, but you know what I'm saying? Baseball.
Hey, they win a lot here in Nebraska. They might.
I mean, they're good. They might question,
I
right?
don't want to leave them off the table here.
Well, I'm saying as far as
You're being
they may not
realistic.
be, not necessarily driving the revenue.
But that's where I think it can.
Still a question.
Yeah, I think that's where it can all be relative, right? Because I think Nebraska would be well served if it wants to continue along with its bowling success, with its volleyball success, relative success in gymnastics. Even throw in like wrestling program, right? Track and field. If Nebraska can allocate resources to where football, men's basketball, women's basketball are taken care of, maybe it becomes a bit of an advantage for Nebraska if it can find the $22.8 or $23 million. If other schools, Vanderbilt, good bowling program, will probably find a way to pay for it. Arkansas State, Sam Houston State, those top programs in the bowling realm will probably find a way to pay for it. But some other programs might say, sorry, bowling, we don't have this earmarked for you. You're not bringing in revenue, so you're not going to get any. Maybe some student athletes will stay there because that's their only offer, and they don't know anything different, and they love it there. More power to them. But I think we'll see a number of athletes say, oh, I can't get paid for this even though we're successful. I'm going to transfer it to X school where I can get paid. So, yeah, right now, I mean, the bulk of the conversation for good reason is focused on football, is focused on men's basketball. But let's not leave out, the earning power of someone like a Livy Dunn at LSU, right? They'd be stupid not to compensate her, moving forward for the notoriety, the publicity that she's bringing that university. Same with the bowling team here. Same with the volleyball team here. It can be just an extra little advantage on top of the advantages these programs already have if they're willing to set some funds aside for it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And that's a good segue, because you talked about individuals that are in specific sports where there may not be a focus. There may not be, they may not have an attentiveness to that specific sport, and they may want to move. And then all of a sudden it creates a power vacuum to wherever the best of the best are going, because somebody else might be focused in that general area. I.e., like for baseball, you're definitely going to have the Southeast in domination if they're taking care of the players the way that they're taking care of them. There's an allocation for their players. And then, you have the colder state schools, the Big Ten and the likes of them or whatever, even the American or any other colder climate baseball universities, conferences, that, it's going to create these shifts, and it's going to maintain a power. You know what I mean? It's going to maintain a power that's going to be tough to break, because it's just the best of the best are going to go there. But then that's going to speak to an area where we talked about why now are some of these big power schools taking L's to some of these other schools. And one, the transfer portal, which we're about to talk about. And then there's other things that are helping in this manner, and these chips on the shoulders, as opposed to the complacency sometimes of those who are making it out, pretty well. So we could see a dynamic shift there, because these young men understand amateur. They don't understand professionalism. And it's a difference between being professionally ready and just going out and playing the game, hoping to get to the next level. So that's that dynamic can create. Did you have something to say on that?
I was just going to say, the transfer portal will always work both ways, right? There are going to be student athletes that thrive at a quote-unquote mid-major level that power programs say, oh, we looked over you, or, oh, your grades weren't there, oh, your frame wasn't there. It makes sense for you to go there, but now we really like you. Come play for us. Here's some money to sweeten the deal. And then there are going to be plenty of players that the opposite is true for, that you thought that their frame would get them ready for college athletics at the major level. Maybe their grades weren't there. Maybe they just never caught on with that system. They'll transfer down somewhere. And right, we see that it does work both ways. It always has, it always will. It won't change the fact that people are always still going to want to go to Alabama and Georgia and Texas and A&M and Florida and Oregon for football, because guess what? They're recruiting powers for a reason. Same in basketball, right? Your Dukes, your Carolinas, your Kansases, Kentuckys, UCLA, they're always going to be fine in recruiting. They're always going to out-recruit the majority of programs. What we're losing is not that the transfer portal is so good or so bad for either side. What we might be losing is seeing, little Vanderbilt that can use the transfer portal, maybe not to the same degree as Alabama. We're going to lose games like that more consistently, right? A Northern Illinois over a Notre Dame. That's really what's going to be left in the dust with all these changes, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Real quick on the approval of the 30-day transfer. What does that do? Does it hinder? Does it help? Does it make it better? Because we've had discussions about whether or not the transfer portal, what it does, the timing of them, when they have them, how people leave, how it affects universities sometimes. So we've had these discussions. What is this move by the NCAA to approve the 30-day transfer window now as opposed to 45?
I don't love it, Strick. I think that I understand why they're doing it. I think it's helpful for coaches, right? It gives them in college football 2 periods to wrap their mind around. In college basketball, there's only 1 period, right? It's pretty unmitigated at this point. Reducing the number of days will save, 30 days of headaches for college football coaches and, 15 days potentially of headaches for college basketball coaches. I just don't necessarily love the timing of the windows being open, right? If you look at the college football windows, Strick, this is from On3 that I'm seeing this. For college football, it's December 9th through the 28th. Guess what? Smack dab in the middle of bowl season. For all the programs that don't make a bowl game, for all the players that miss out on a bowl game, that works out perfectly for them. Their season's done. They've had a week and a half or two to make up their mind, to think about it. They can go home over Christmas, 24th, 25th, 26th, and still have 2 days to put their name in the portal. Well, guess what, Strick?
You're getting buzzed. They're calling you for the transfer portal. They say you need to get in and get down there and get off the block, basically. They trying to recruit you off the block. That's crazy.
Pretty much. My last point then will be, so I can mute and go take care of that. I don't love it opening up after the second round of games in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. I wish that would just be after the season was done.
There it is. We'll let him get the phone so they can try to recruit him to get off the block. But in the meantime, we're going to take a quick break. We're here on the block, 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's hard to choose a favorite at Hog Wild, but I'd have to say it's their award-winning ribs. Hog Wild buys their meat from those who share their high-quality standards, then hand rubs each slab with their famous seasoning blend and slow smokes them over hickory each and every day for flavor and tenderness you're going to keep coming back for. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
This is State Senator Carolyn Bozin. Public safety is important in our community. I have a proven record of protecting public safety. I have prosecuted perpetrators of domestic violence, advocated for the rights of child abuse victims, held sexual predators accountable, and fought to keep drug traffickers off our streets. This is Senator Carolyn Bozin, and I will continue to fight to keep our community safe. Vote Carolyn Bozin on November 5th. Paid for by Bozin for Legislature.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Brought to you by General Fire and Safety, Raisin Canes, Perch Merch, Sunbelt Rentals, Mullen Motors, Select Plumbing, and the Kindler Hotel. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread? I can't stop eating it. Rico, relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today in most local grocery stores. When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Couple Chevrolet GMC, and we want to thank all of our customers for a great September. And now it's time for our annual Halloween sales event happening right now at Koppel. Get 0% financing at Koppel. You heard right, 0% financing on select new models. Also, huge discounts up to $11,500 are available. It's our annual Halloween sales event. Get $11,500 off or 0% financing at Koppel. So please stop on by or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did 0% with roof credit.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
On the block with Strick and Austin.
Nebraska football banked 3 wins early. It had to do that. Seeing the win against Purdue, seeing the win against Northern Iowa, even Colorado, I feel like, at least for me, the wins have been secondary. I've been trying to nitpick, they have to do this better, they have to do this better. Nick, I'm going to spot now with both the Royals, helping me see with the Huskers, we got to learn to love these teams for who they are. The bar has changed.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Early break.
Anthony in the mailbag says, good morning, guys. Question for the mailbag. If you were trapped in a 10 foot by 10 foot concrete room with one animal, what is the largest animal you could kill with nothing but your bare hands?
I'd like to think I could whip an ostrich.
He's going to get a hold of his neck. He's going to whip him around. He's going to whip him around.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
It's another big week of college football, and we've got you covered with a doubleheader right here on 93.7 The Ticket. We start with the Red River rivalry from the Cotton Bowl with a little SEC flavor this year as Quinn Ewers in number 1 Texas takes on number 18 Oklahoma. Broadcast starts at 2 p.m. with kickoff slated for 2:30. Then we jump to the Big Ten for an undefeated showdown between top 5 teams. Number 2, Ohio State travels to Eugene to take on number 3, Oregon. That broadcast starts at 6 p.m. with a 6:30 kickoff.
Catch the action on the gridiron all season long here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, yo! And I'm being not AAO as just the injury back to the block. I'm talking about Austin Orman. What's going on? I need to know the insight on what the offering was. What how they're trying to sneak you and steal you away, man. I can't have that going on, man. When my partner is trying to be sifted out of the transfer portal. I don't like that.
So it's funny that you say transfer portal because that's actually legitimately what it was. I walked in and it smelled like they had just cleaned the carpet. I'm like, oh, that's nice, fresh carpet. Well, I took my shoes off and stepped on the clean carpet, only to find out the carpet was wet. So I'm like, shoot, you know what? I stepped in some wet carpet. Just going to be one of those things, one of those days, no big deal. Well, I got a call from a very sweet janitorial staff custodian who said, hey, just want to let you know we cleaned the carpet in your room, and if you want to switch rooms, we can absolutely do that. No harm, no foul. So I told her, you know what? I appreciate the offer. I'm not going to be around too much longer. We'll see how I'm feeling when I get back to the hotel tonight. So actually, Stricky, I might be in the transfer portal. We'll just have
there
to see.
It is. You definitely might be. You might be moving on up like the Jeffersons. Well, we're moving on up to the penthouse. I'd love it if you get into the penthouse, baby. I ain't gonna be mad at you. I might even jump in the car and drive 3 hours or so down there to KC to join you. But no, man. So let's. Oh, you got something? You good? All right. Sounds good. Now check this out. We've been. I know myself personally. I've been high on the Jets 2 years ago, and the reason being is I really saw a flicker of light on the defense.
Yeah, they were
solid. And how great they were, how good. And it was really just offense that couldn't get them. It felt like a Huskers deja vu in the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? Their defense was really good. Their offense couldn't freaking they were fishing and couldn't throw the rod into the lake. It was getting hung up on the land. They was peeling it back and it was getting stuck on the land. They couldn't, and they were right there in the water. It's like that's how it was. But when you look at what's going on now, here's something. We know that Robert Saleh. Dang it. And I just said it right.
Yeah, we were talking about
that's what's crazy. I just said it right on the break. Robert Saleh has been fired. And the crazy dynamic of that is we know again that the offense has been struggling a little bit, and Nathaniel Hackett, has
can't hack it.
Huh?
He can't hack it.
Right. It's been crazy because a lot of pundits and a lot of people would say that he's a great offensive mind, and to have as good of a quarterback that you had, you did some upgrades and you tried to do some things to make the offense a little bit better. Robert Saleh was on his way to drop the hammer on Hackett and ends up walking in and seeing the owner there dropping the Hackett on him instead. You think about that being a reverse Uno card happening right there in front of your face. But it's crazy because when you look at this team, a lot of people are also starting to wonder in their minds whether or not Aaron Rodgers has a lot of say-so. And when you talk about Aaron and when the owners speak out about it, obviously they ain't gonna tell you the real deal. They're gonna give you the fake news fluff like we see a lot of times on our news today, all kinds of extra fluff. But they're basically saying, no, that's not necessarily the case. You guys think he has more power than he actually does. And they're not taking any play calling abilities away from Hackett. So as you said, he can't hack it, but how are we finding ourselves in this situation? And how do you feel about Robert Saleh? Right.
I feel bad for Robert Saleh. He did his job as a defensive mind. Absolutely. There are, 3 phases of the game and 2 that are really forward facing in offense and defense. So you can't just ignore, one half of the ball. And I don't think Robert Saleh did. What I think the problem is, Strick, is that there's just such a comfort between Aaron Rodgers and Nathaniel Hackett that I just don't understand, right? Sure, Aaron Rodgers had some decent years with Nathaniel Hackett, but it seems to me like Aaron Rodgers is more concerned about having his buddies and quote unquote his guys in the building more so than winning football games, right? You go out and you sign Alan Lazard, who, yeah, sure, has, either more receptions or more yards than Garrett Wilson does this year. It's good to have some level of familiarity, right? Some level of comfort, especially going to a new environment and one that's as tough as New York. But if you're Robert Saleh and you know that you have some of your lighter weeks, some of your easier weeks game planning against Nathaniel Hackett teams, why do you hire the guy? If you have to hire him just to get Aaron Rodgers in the fold, maybe Aaron Rodgers isn't worth it at the end of the day, because it's been, a number of years since Nathaniel Hackett has had a bona fide, legit, even top half of the NFL offense, let alone a top 5, top 8 offense like you need to really compete for a Super Bowl. So I get the allure of Aaron Rodgers, who I think can still play at a high enough level to be better than anything the Jets have had at quarterback in a really, really desperately long time. And I'm not saying that, being forced to bring Nathaniel Hackett along, should be a deal breaker. But at the same time, if you get through a season or a season and a half, as a defensive head coach, these ideas aren't going to work in the modern NFL. You tell your star quarterback, hey, sorry, we gave it a try. He's not going to hack it, but at some point, it's not just about you. My butt's on the line. You have, 52 other teammates whose butts are on the line here in a competitive cutthroat league like the NFL. At some point, we can't just cater to your feelings and your comfort. We tried it your way. Now we're going to try it my way. And I'm surprised we don't see that more from, NFL head coaches in general, but especially a first-time head coach like Robert Saleh, who, I doubt that's his last coaching job, but he's going to be a defensive coordinator again for a while before he gets another head coaching job. And it kind of feels like it's because he wasn't willing to cross a quarterback that had a bad idea and who to bring along with him.
There it is. What you think, Harrison?
Yeah, I'll give my 2 cents on this as a Bears fan who's rooted against Aaron Rodgers forever. Like the thing that bothers me about this with the Jets is, and I told you this off air, if they find a way to piss away the last of Rodgers' career, it's embarrassing. And if it was Saul and you're unsure about it, all offseason you could have made this move. And you wait until not after the Broncos game where you only score 9 points. You wait to lose to a very good Vikings team in a close match, and that's when you pull the plug on it. And then you look at the coaches who are out there left. I mean, you can have Vrabel's out there, Bill Belichick, if you want to just, throw the name out there for media's sake, but I don't think he has any interest in coaching again. Maybe you go to the Detroit Lions. I think Johnson, OC, might be a good fit there, but you had all offseason to figure this out. And you're seeing flashes from Rodgers. I don't think Rodgers is quote unquote washed. Like he's looking fine. He's coming off one of the worst injuries you can have in a very quick time window, and give him some time to gel with that offense. My whole thing is I'm not upset that they fired him. It's just the timing of it. Like, let's not panic and pull the plug on it. And if you say Rodgers doesn't have all this control, then I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah, I think sometimes what happens in New York news media cycles, especially in sports, look, it's nasty. Like I played there in New York.
Ask Wilson.
It's nasty, right? And so being that it's so nasty that sometimes, owners or schools or whoever, they can be swayed by just a lot of the negative media attention sometimes.
But even Saleh was the punching bag for that media attention, which is what drives me. Like, he took all of those hits for you for the longest time, and you can't. The way they can is what really bothers me.
Well, I don't like it either. But Austin, did you want to finish up before we go to break?
Yeah, it's just unfortunate for a guy like Robert Saleh. I mean, I get it, maybe being a little uncomfortable as a first-time head coach, knowing the personality of Aaron Rodgers. I hope it's a learning experience for him, right? We know he can be an elite defensive coordinator in the NFL. He's going to land on his feet. You know what? If I'm the Colts, I hope they hire Robert Saleh. Please, go get him. Don't leave him unemployed for very long. I don't care how difficult it is to implement a scheme midseason. Bring him on as an advisor. Try to fix your defense. Oh, sorry, Gus Bradley didn't finish above 20th. Well, guess what? We have the internal candidate right here. To me, I just think that it's a lesson that so many first-time head coaches and even established head coaches are slow to learn, right? Sometimes maybe if it doesn't work, it's a quick trigger, but sometimes it's sunk cost analysis, right? Sometimes things aren't going to get better. And I think one of the true marks of leadership is having that savvy and that ability to know when the right moment to pull the plug on an offensive coordinator is. Might seem selfish to some people on the outside, but really would have been the best football move for Robert Saleh to make this move 2 or 3 weeks earlier, understanding the state that your organization is in and who your owner is as well.
Well, there it is. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back on a short segment before we go to the second hour of On the Block, we're going to, Austin, you're welcome to stay, man, but I know you've got a lot that you're planning for and you're trying to get ready for. You're welcome to stay because we're going to talk a little bit of NBA so you can determine either you're going to see Austin Norman's face or you're going to see me and Harrison here. We're going to talk about the Phoenix Suns and, Kevin, basically we're going to talk about Kevin Durant, the Phoenix Suns, and how combustible as a contender they have been. Just so many people have liked them, loved them, thought of them, had high praise for them. The big three, top scorer in Bill, one of the best scorers of all time in Durant, and then Booker, Devin Booker, who is one of the better up and coming guys. And you thought that was going to be it. But what was the missing link? Is there a missing link? And we're going to just briefly discuss it and see how they're going to pan out coming into this year's NBA as we finish up on the exhibition season. We'll be right back. 93.7 The Ticket, On the Block.
Are you looking for affordable drinks and a great atmosphere this football season? Highball Bar has you covered. Whether it's pregame tailgating, postgame festivities, or in-game celebrations, Highball Bar is the place to be. With $4 beers, $4 mixed drinks, and more during their 4 to 8 p.m. daily happy hour, Highball Bar will quickly become your go-to place to sit back, unwind, and be your team's #1 fan. Highball Bar, located in downtown Lincoln, just 3 blocks from Memorial Stadium at 122 North 11th Street.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies with light south winds and an afternoon high around 86. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with calm winds and a low around 56. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with light winds and an afternoon high around 89. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Hey guys, it's Nick. Join me and Jay Foreman this Friday at 8 p.m. from Seacrest Field as Grand Island takes on Lincoln North Star. The Gators are 4-2 on the year and led by head coach James Thompson, while the Islanders are still searching for their first win of 2024. Kickoff is slated for 8 p.m. with pregame coverage starting at 7:45 p.m. It's the Islanders and the Gators this Friday on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Abby with Midwest Bank. Stop by our new location at 70th and Pioneers. Our new full-service branch does it all. From our friendly staff to our easy online banking and mobile app, you get all the technology of a big bank that you need, but you still get the hometown customer service that you want. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back on the block. He's Strick, and Harrison Arms is in studio here on 11th and O Street. While my friend Austin Orman is away down in KC, Austin decided to stay around and hang out with us a little bit to talk Phoenix Suns. And it's not Phoenix Suns because of anything that they have done particular. It's not the retirement of Kevin Durant. It is not Devin Booker ascending and becoming the face of the NBA. It is not a trade of Bradley Beal. There's nothing of the sorts. But we're going to talk about high expectations with nowhere to go. They have really they traded away a lot of their capital. They don't have any salary issues to how they can get reprieve from that. You're pretty much stuck with these big three, and you're only trade bait, and you don't want to get rid of him because he's your youngest of the group. You know, you don't want to get rid of Devin Booker. He's really the only one that you have any opportunity of getting anything for. And so we'll talk about what this year means for them on top of if it fails again, then do you look at a Devin Booker move to try to acquire anything as a part of the just start over in the valley type of scenario? But in the meantime, what is the thing that they're missing, because when you look at 23-24 season, they had a 49-33 record. They lost to the Timberwolves in the first round, but their offensive rating was 10th and their defensive rating was 13th. It's not as bad as I would have thought for their defensive rating, because they didn't look like they played any D. They looked like the old Phoenix Suns back in the Steve Nash days, where they're just like trying to score everybody, but that's not necessarily the case.
If you watched at the end of the games, though, that's when it showed up.
That's when it showed up, right? So the big question is, what is the missing link? Is the missing link the point guard position? And do they think they have found that point guard in Tyus?
Yes, they have.
There you go. Go ahead.
Duke, baby. They get Tyus Jones, championship inbound. Stricky, you set me right up for that. You let me walk right into that one. Tyus Jones, it can be
like a fastball right down the middle with no movement.
I don't miss it. Straight as an arrow. Boom, see ya. No, Tyus Jones has led the NBA in assist to turnover ratio, I believe, for the last 7 years. He is a perfect caretaker of the ball, high basketball IQ, can shoot 35, 36% from three. So obviously adding Tyus Jones makes the Phoenix Suns better. It'll push Grayson Allen to the bench, which I think is a better role for him as well. But then, Strick, what they really need is a center, right? Nurkic wasn't the answer. DeAndre Ayton kind of had run his course there. But I still think the alternate timeline for the Suns that would work out better for them is if you keep Booker. I still think Ayton is a serviceable starting center in the NBA. Not a star, not worthy of maybe where he was drafted, but you can make it work with him. And if you go get Kevin Durant, fantastic. To me, it's Brad Beal is kind of the issue there, right? Not because he's a bad guy, not because he's a bad player, but there's just so much overlap between a guy like Brad Beal and Devin Booker. I think the smarter path forward for the Suns would have been to resist the temptation to go get that third megastar, because when we talk about Strick, big threes are gone. It's big twos right now. If you have the big two of Booker and Durant, you move forward with those two. You have more cap space to find a point guard last year, to keep Ayton around and see if he develops, find some veteran pickups at the waiver wire, the trade deadline. That to me would have been the path. You can't get out of the Beal contract. Durant, who knows what he wants on any given day. And you absolutely should not trade Devin Booker, right? If you have to wait it out, yeah, Devin Booker is going to be older by the time the Durant and Beal contracts run out, but he should still be young enough and good enough that you can go get that second star for him, and then that is your 2 or 3 year window where Booker should be at the tail end of the prime of his game.
Anything from you, Harrison?
Yeah,
before we go to break,
real quick, since we got to wrap up there with the break here. I like Tyus Jones. I'm not that high on it. I think it'll definitely help out a little bit. I knew that was going to be your answer, knowing he was a Duke guy. But yeah, Tyus Jones. I mean, he's going to certainly help out with the assist ratio. But when you're especially in the Western Conference, you said being 13 and 11 on offense, defense, not that bad. You're in the West. If you want to get through the West, you got to be like top five in both.
Yeah,
especially in the defense. So again, it's the Bradley Beal. Arguably one of his best shooting seasons. If you actually look at the numbers, Bradley Beal was playing incredible, but it's all about that fit. And in late game situations, that's what I was kind of talking about. You saw a lot of that, not having a true point guard to take over, not having a center to get defensive stops, kind of looking around like, okay, this is certainly got to be Kevin Durant's time, right? Or is it
Kevin Durant at the 4?
Yeah, or is it D-Book? I mean, he's kind of the heart and soul of the team. Or is it the new guy, Bradley Beal, who arguably is having the best shooting season out of either of those guys? So to me, it's all about the fit. It's like, it's a little bit like watching Deshaun Watson on the Browns. Great player, not going to fit that type of style. That's my 2 cents I got to add to it.
There it is. What do you think? 402-464-5685. But we got to get out of here for the second hour. Austin, thank you for joining us for the first hour here, man. Have fun. Enjoy the game. Bring back great information, and go Royals.
Hey, ain't that the truth? Go Royals. Play some ball tonight, boys. Appreciate you guys holding down the fort for me. I'll talk to you soon.
There it is. Get Austin Orman on Austin_Orman on X. Almost said it. But hey, man, we'll see you on next week. Well, Friday. We'll see you Friday. Have fun, man. Enjoy. We'll talk to him then. We'll be right back on the block right after this.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith. Innovation has a name. Call Patriot Plumbing at 402-464-7411 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-464-7411.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com. Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Couple Chevrolet GMC, and we want to thank all of our customers for a great September. And now it's time for our annual Halloween sales event happening right now at Koppel. Get 0% financing at Koppel. You heard right, 0% financing on select new models. Also, huge discounts up to $11,500 are available. It's our annual Halloween sales event. Get $11,500 off or 0% financing at Koppel. So please stop on by or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. 0% with roof credit.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last. The electrical workers of local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for 3. And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome back to On the Block. It is Hump Day Wednesday. The food was absolutely amazing. Who brought the food today? You remember?
I haven't been able to dig into
You didn't get into that?
No, I showed up and you guys were spoiled during the day. I'll tell you that much.
I walked in and I was trying to drink a shake, Harrison, and be healthy, and I saw freaking macaroni and cheese and sliders, steak sliders with some hot link sausage back there and barbecue sauce. Man, I was like, no, I'm like, shake tomorrow.
When we go to break, we got to find out so we give them their proper.
We want to give them their proper
because it smelled good. I was a little jealous watching you eat in the first hour there,
bro. It was good. We're gonna get into a quick segment, and this is kind of a deep thought segment. So we would always love you guys' participation. 402-464-5685. We definitely would love you to chime in on this with your thoughts. This may pull at your heartstrings a little bit, because somebody somewhere, if not you, somewhere has been able or has experienced what we're going to talk about real quick. But Tommy on the Sauter-Heyman text line says, based on the last subject, I'll talk about this real quick. He says the Suns' biggest issue was thinking Durant was the answer. They should have kept building around Booker, similar to how Denver, Dallas, and Milwaukee built their teams. That's what they should have stuck with. Thank you for shouting that out.
Yeah, I agree. Devin Booker was the heart and soul of that team, and you put him in a tough spot, putting all those superstars around him.
Right. No doubt about it. Thank you guys also. Thanks, Cupsker. I see you on there as well. All of you guys, Jordan P., Bill and Bennett, you guys are always phenomenal, for being around. So check this out now. We need to get that on the text line hooked up too, because it's showing Mountain in the times is off. And I'm like, oh, was this from like the drive or was this from from like Rashawn? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is.
It threw me off for a second. I was like, wait a minute. I mean, I'm hoping this is us. We'll get that taken care of. But here's the thing. This is I think this may pull at your heartstrings, and please chime in if you want to. Also on the stream, on the StreamYard, you can do so as well. Those who are on X, YouTube, or Facebook. Did we get Twitch back up? Because I know Facebook.
No,
we're done
with Twitch.
We're done with them.
Yeah, Twitch
Facebook was tripping for a while too.
Bigger for the gaming community, I think. Twitch is.
I agree.
I don't know if we had a lot of sports fans tuning into our Twitch.
Yeah, we need to keep them on, LinkedIn on Twitch maybe, because he's big in the gaming space. So here's what we know, guys. Hurricane Milton. We already know what Helene has done, but Hurricane Milton is making its trek through the Gulf, headed to Florida in the next coming days. By that, we know this. It is Wednesday today. The next couple of days puts us around Friday, which puts you in line for college football, whether it be UCF.
When's it supposed to hit?
You're looking in the next couple of days. You're looking by the weekend. Jeez. So, no, you know what? You're looking at maybe tonight and Thursday. So whatever the aftermath's going to be, definitely stuff is, we just don't know what it's going to look like. There's a lot of people gone.
Water, which is, that's terrifying
looking at
to think
Tampa.
about.
and it's looking to be a category 5 and 175 mile per hour winds. Okay. So what we want to get into, because obviously this is going to affect USF's game, because USF is in Tampa. It's slated with its cone track to go directly through Tampa, and they're supposed to play Memphis, and that game is moved on Saturday. And we're hoping to minimize any damage, any issues. We know that the things that Hurricane Rita has done in 2005, we know what Katrina did. We know how it changed situations because of these storms. For example, this prompted Tampa, the Buccaneers, to leave early for New Orleans. So there are a lot of things that need to be adjusted. So Friday's game for South Florida, who is located, South Florida, University of South Florida is in Tampa. They're going to move their game to 3:30 on Saturday. And we know that Cincinnati is also playing UCF, because that trek is supposed to keep going on through the Orlando area. And so that game's going to be affected. You also know that North Texas is supposed to play FAU, which is in Boca Raton, which is just north of Fort Lauderdale area. We don't know anything, but hurricanes can shift. So right now it doesn't look like Miami is in effect or anything like that, but it can shift. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is because we know what it did, Katrina did in New Orleans. We know that it affected the New Orleans landscape so bad. The Mercedes-Benz dome was tore off the frame, obviously, because a lot of people, that was the place that they could get to and go. So it was messed up for some time. We also know that the New Orleans Hornets had to
head on up to
OKC to play a lot of their games.
Yep.
And so we know that there's an effect. Now, how does it affect the fan? How does it affect the city? How does it affect sports and the supporters, wherever they may be? I can tell you that Katrina united Saints fans in a way that we hadn't seen, and they end up coming up winning a Super Bowl. We know that other cities and the way that they come together, how does it affect the discussion in sports? How does it affect the people's feel? Does it unite them? Or is there kind of now you got to add politics into this, unfortunately, because there's all kinds of stuff now that gets added into this space. Because I've always found, Harrison, that sports is a place where you can decompress, where you can take your mind off of all of the things that you maybe have dealt with at work.
That's the goal, right?
Right?
Like, that's what you
it's
want
like
when you go to a sporting event. Like,
if you're not a gamer, normally people engage in sports. They become sideline GMs and couch potato coaches. You know what I mean? And it's a way for them to just be able to just woosah, right? So how do you think? And you guys, 402-464-5685, how does it affect the communities? How does it unite the communities? How does it unite sports fans? How do you come together? Like what happens in this space when you have these type of situations that happen, these significant storms like this?
Yeah, well, first, I want to shout out Cupsker, because he did chime in here about 9 p.m. And first things first, thoughts and prayers to everybody who might be in the
thoughts
path
and
of that,
prayers,
because that thing is, you just never know, and resources always get spread thin there when you're trying to figure out, what everybody needs. But it's unfortunate. We see it all the time, though. But tragedy unites people. I mean, it just puts everything into perspective. When you got a Milton heading your way, pretty soon the losses don't feel so bad because you're more worried about your property and the people you love. Like it's got a way of unifying people and just kind of bringing sports back to what it's supposed to be, which is just about unity and, like you said, a way to decompress. Because when you got chaos going around you with like a severe storm, you even out to California with the wildfires, when you can just go and be in a place together and take your mind off of all the tragedy, it's just a good way to decompress. So you do see a unifying factor. I was telling you off air, I've obviously, being 25, wasn't alive around for it to go while I was alive, but I wasn't able to go attend the game, Memorial Stadium, after 9/11. if people go and look at that tunnel walk, that first home game tunnel walk after that, it was people are tearing up in the stands. And there was this sense of community. And I think especially today where it feels like community is being lost a little bit, it's really powerful when you have stuff like that. So, I mean, that's the beauty, the silver lining in it all. But obviously, it's unfortunate that tragedy has to take effect. But the community is a positive after effect where I think people do come together and you see neighbors helping each other out.
Speaking of that, we can't discount what's going on with Helene as well. You know, a lot of places in Georgia, places definitely in East Tennessee and West North Carolina, so forth and so on. Some parts of South Carolina, the effects that it's had there. There are teams there. That's the Appalachian Valley area. Mm-hmm. Boone has been hit. We know that there's what is App State in Boone. So we know that there's going to be some recovery, some effects. People can't get around because what you talked about, that's what I catch the beauty of what's going on, because we know right now that the community is coming together. Mm-hmm. I was watching yesterday where they had the Redneck Army or the Redneck Air Force, where a lot of former military officials and people that worked in the military, they're helicopter pilots or they're pilots in these tours, and they've taken their resources themselves and united by way of you found them united by way of some GoFunding. Yeah. That's community coming together and doing those type of things in these places of need. And I have to agree with you. I think that it is a unifying thing. We saw what unfortunately 9/11 did. Yeah. We saw the whole nation like sending the best of their best there to help out in community. And then they ended up with a champion. Now that throws in some conspiracy theories. I'm gonna let you get your point. But that throws in some conspiracy theories. But saying low, I mean, shout out to Eric on the text line, throws out, Strick, we don't talk about the tainted Saint Super Bowl, Strick. I see you, because it throws in, woo, you saw what happened up in New York, not shortly after 9/11. Yeah. New York teams end up winning some Super Bowls, and I think an MLB champion, if I remember correctly. So it's,
I was going to ask you that. And now obviously this is never the game plan. You never want this stuff. It's absolutely awful. But did we see it as teams having a positive effect of that unification from the fan base around them and just the players? Because, I'll shout out a lot of those pro athletes too. When those teams are in that area, they go out of their way to help out the community outside of just going to practice and preparing for the next game. Like you'll see, the Saints that year, the way they were out and active in the community and just everybody rallying around them.
And you saw that in OKC with that tornado.
Yep, OKC, that supercell that was terrifying to look at I can't remember what year that was.
I can't either, but I know Kevin Durant and Ibaka and all of those guys really, chipped in and did. Right? Yeah,
it adds an element of team chemistry and unification. And I always say this, it sounds cheesy, but most teams that win it, a Super Bowl, NBA Finals, a World Series, they almost look like a family by the end of it, right? Like how close those guys are. Outside, you're going to get some cases where, it ain't really like that, where teams are just that good and dominant. But you see that team chemistry at such a peak with the teams that win it often. Does that have a real effect on team success if something bad happens where they can have that unification?
No doubt about it. Before we go to our break, I know we've got to get to a quick one and catch up on a few things with some paying bills and commercials and things of that nature here on the block today. The next segment I want to talk about, I'm going to throw this out there because I shared something with Harrison before our last segment here at 3:00, and I want to kind of talk about it, touch on it. But in the next segment, I want to talk about has Michigan, the Wolverines, the champions, have they reached their ceiling?
Champions
for the year,
or we call them out? I mean, that's the other part. Are they outright champions, or do you think the Connor Stallions had a heavy hand in helping them get there?
You can throw that into the mix as well. Do you put an asterisk by it? But we're going to talk about it as well, because I think there's a deeper conversation along that as well. I had shared with Harrison, and you can go look this up, whether it be on YouTube or Instagram, because Real Madrid, the stadium that they play in, they have a phenomenal system. and it made me question whether or not we here in the United States where our innovation has gone, because the innovation of that stadium is absolutely, now it is a grass stadium. It is open grass stadium, but they have levels to which they can drop the freaking grass down underneath the stadium, have irrigation. They can go under there and practice and do different things within the stadium, not on the field, down underground. It goes down, I think, 6 or 7 levels or something like that.
You got one pitch underneath that pitch. You got like 5 sub pitches you could swap out there.
You can swap out fields, and and now there are some fields. I can't remember where it is. There's one field that it's a dome stadium, and I know there's another one that's trying to be built.
We're talking U.S.
In the U.S.
Okay.
I want to say Cleveland. I want to say it might be Cleveland. They're trying to build. They're petitioning to build a new stadium right now. They don't want to renovate the one. They're trying to build a new one indoor, but then they have a basically a grass field that slides outside at certain times, and it'll get sun, and then they'll slide it back in, and in that way, there's some innovation to that. But boy, oh boy, Real Madrid stadium,
still even the one you said where you can slide it in and out, they got 5, and they can. It's to the point with Real Madrid in that video, like maybe it's just that corner that's getting right. Back. They can slide up like individual chunks of field if the rest of it's good, and they don't want to be wasteful. Like it's it is ingenuity at its finest. Like it's beautiful to see, and it does make you scratch your head. It's like, why is the Premier League so far ahead on just taking care of the field?
I agree.
Like they are miles ahead. You go to Premier League, you're not going to find turf anywhere. They're going to puke when you say AstroTurf. Like they turf does not exist for those guys.
And with injuries the way that they are on some of these turfs, it's slippery, sticky, ACLs, the increases of that, you would think that we would want to get more. I sometimes think we get lazy, Harrison. I think we sometimes get lazy and just throw out the easy solution. Like, for example, I remember when I was, still in Orlando, and I was working with my buddy Tim Grayman, and we were building out a 4-level 4-building townhouse that had kind of been left to the bank, and it was so we were getting it back in order. And I'm reminded at some of the petitions he was making and dealing with clients, and how they would always want the low ball. They want the easiest track. And I understand to negotiate, but then when you get ish, then you want to come back and say, hey, can you help? Why not just do it right from the beginning?
Exactly.
Like we'll take our cars to Jimbo Fisher. No, I ain't gonna say him. We'll take our to Jimbo Tuck to Jimbo, I'm trying to make up a name, so to speak.
Jimbo Steve.
Jimbo Steve. and Jimbo Steve is working out of a garage that's owned by Jiffy Lube, and it ain't his. It's just he's renting out a spot.
Mm-hmm.
When you could take it to the people that do the best, and then all of a sudden you get trash, but you paid for trash.
Yeah. Now you want quality.
Now you want quality out of it, right?
It's just like, well,
I think we get that way sometimes, man. I think we kind of get that way.
That's a whole rant myself. I mean, you can go around, like, go look at old architecture and go look at modern architecture.
Right?
Why does the old stuff look that much prettier and that much better? Then you go look at the new stuff. Here's 4 walls and glass.
It's
over and over and over. It's cheap, it's easy, and it's convenient. And unfortunately, that's just kind of, I don't know if that's trickled into sports. You're seeing some stadiums like, you give credit, out in LA. I'm blanking on the name of the beautiful field that the Chargers play in now.
Yeah, I don't know, but I do know Kupsker said that the Raiders turf, it does slide outside. I knew I'd seen it. I couldn't remember for sure.
There are some teams that
he said Arizona and Vegas both have movable fields.
Mm-hmm. There's some that do understand it. Don't get me wrong, but it's still not to the same level of
because you can go overseas to some places, right? And their parking garage, like in Japan or something, just because they don't have a lot of space, but their ingenuity kicks in, and they can park and send it down so many levels, and it's automated, and it comes. And I'm like, why don't they have it to that level in New York? Places like that, you would think, right?
You would think, but there's someone up top who can save it. You know what's expensive?
SoFi Stadium. Thanks, unnamed texter 3195.
Shout out, yeah, SoFi Stadium. But you know what's expensive? Ingenuity and being creative and testing things out. That's why. I think it's more expensive if you're going to spend the time and research and try to find new innovative ways to make it better. When if you have a layout that works and you've refined it, you know how much it's going to cost. You might even know how to cut some corners and how much it's going to cost. That's what you're going to get. And we see that too much.
We see that too much. If you guys have a comment on that, join in on the stream, Facebook, X, and YouTube as well. You know that you can also find us on Allo. If you have Allo, join us. Take a look at us here on Allo channel 961. And thank you guys as well on the Sutter Haven text line. You guys are always there. We're appreciative of you and you guys' continued support. Shout out to NEPCO and NEPCO's continuous work and their service to us here on the block. Being a sponsor of our show, we're appreciative of NEPCO. Their operations span the state of Nebraska and supply the construction industry with materials needed to construct buildings, streets, and highways here since 1908. They've been a long-time member of the community. Support them and as well. We appreciate you guys. We'll be right back. It is another segment to come. I think we're going to talk about Michigan when we come back right here on 93.7 Ticket.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the Ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Brought to you by General Fire and Safety, Raisin Canes, Perch Merch, Sunbelt Rentals, Mullen Motors, Select Plumbing, and the Kindler Hotel. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road. All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread? I can't stop eating it. Rico, relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today in most local grocery stores. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
NEPCO is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEPCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEPCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Hey guys, it's Nick. Join me and Jay Foreman this Friday at 8 p.m. from Seacrest Field as Grand Island takes on Lincoln North Star. The Gators are 4-2 on the year and led by head coach James Thompson, while the Islanders are still searching for their first win of 2024. Kickoff is slated for 8 p.m. with pregame coverage starting at 7:45 p.m. It's the Islanders and the Gators this Friday on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Probably the best locker room entertainment ever. You know, listening to Chris.
Have you seen the Will Compton's videos before? How does that compare?
What does he say at the end of that thing? I like that part. What does he say?
He uses your go big.
Oh, that's really using my go big red.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not your Go Big Red.
Yeah,
That was Vershawn's Go Big Red. That's been a chant long before Vershawn.
That's my go big red. It's mine.
Early break.
Anthony in the mailbag says, good morning, guys. Question for the mailbag. If you were trapped in a 10 foot by 10 foot concrete room with one animal, what is the largest animal you could kill with nothing but your bare hands?
I'd like to think I could whip an ostrich.
Get a hold of his neck. He's going to whip him around. He's going to whip him around.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Landmark Implement helps you put dirt in its place with increased accuracy and greater speed thanks to the John Deere Smart Grade. This fully integrated 3D grade control system boosts job site productivity and reduces labor costs with fewer passes and less wasted material, meaning more bids won and higher margins. No masts, no cables, just clear views of the job site. Visit your local Landmark Implement today and discover the profit-boosting power of the Smart Grade and experience the Landmark difference.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wow, it's been a great hump day here on the block. We thank you guys for joining us. We got a couple more segments left, and we're going to talk Michigan Wolverines. And there's a reason for talking about the Michigan Wolverines, because me and my guy, Harrison, here took a close look at what Harrison, break it down for me. What's in store before we really dig into this Michigan debacle and what's going on right now potentially for them?
This second part of the schedule for Michigan is absolutely brutal. 402-464-5685. How many wins does Michigan get? And keep in mind, they just dropped their last game to Washington 27-17. They got 23 ranked Illinois next on October 19th. Then they got Michigan State, number 3 Oregon, number 18 Indiana, Northwestern, and then to finish it off, of course, as always, number 2 Ohio State.
Wow.
Two wins?
So that probably.
Because
maybe.
where are you at with
Let's
Washington
be real.
now? Is Washington good, or is that just Michigan is not good at all?
That's a great question. But the real question then becomes to me is, have they reached their ceiling? And you have to really think about it, because this is a multi-pronged discussion. And we have time, a little bit of time on about 15 minutes, and we'll dig into this. But here's where I want to go with it. You know that Jim Harbaugh obviously was the former coach. We know that he's been slapped with some penalties, just cause penalties. And we know that McCarthy was a recruit for Jim Harbaugh. We know that Iowa's McNamara was the guy prior to McCarthy's coming. He wins the job. McNamara wins the job, gets injured, and doesn't see the field again because McCarthy took over. And obviously we know what the outcome of that was. And that was a championship, asterisk, whatever you want to put by, but it was a championship. He then, and I'm sure a lot of them thought, I'm sure Coach Moore probably hoped that McNamara would return and he doesn't. He goes on to become a first-round draft pick and makes his way into the NFL. When we do continue to look at this, we know that it has been horrible since Jack Tuttle, who was in the same recruiting class as Trevor Lawrence as well as Justin Fields. He came in the Washington game. They thought they had a little bit high hopes for him. He has a good body, solid arm. He comes in, goes 10 for 18 with 98 yards and a touchdown with an interception in that game. So you figure you got something coming back. But unfortunately, you also have in 2022, Michigan signed Orji and a 3-star in Jaden Denegal. But both were considered projects at the time, and Orji has seen play there as well. And here's what you have now. You have the Connor Stallion situation that pops up for him. We have the issue that happens with Jim Harbaugh. Now, the question then becomes, did it scare away people? So not knowing what the outcome, there was still talk. There wasn't really much going on prior to the championship.
Yeah, Shrumore was confident that it wasn't going to touch him.
They kind of swept it under the rug until after the aftermath, and then Moore takes over. But now he's stuck. One quarterback, McNamara's gone. You don't really have much there.
Edwards is from the cover to
not
having an effect at all.
He's not even the best running back on the team now. Which him coming in, you would have thought that was the case, but they missed on. They have. Well, let me just say they have some recruits that are possibly coming on in the near future. They have a 4-star in Jaden Davis. He was the lone quarterback that was taken in the 2024 class. He traveled. He's not really active. I think they were looking to redshirt him, and so he traveled to Washington. But there's an understanding with him that is going to be a continued red shirt, get through all of this, what's going on. Carter Smith, he's the Wolverines 2025 commit. He's finishing up in Fort Myers. And Bishop Verrett, he can't even help you because he's still playing as a senior. And then you have their 4-star, which is Brady Hart, who was committed for 2026. There's still a long way to go. There's still a lot of time. Do you think this is a situation where they looked at their schedule and just basically said, we're just going to eat crow on this one, take our willy lumps and, hopefully build for the future? Or did they just say, we want to just get through, all the noise of the just cause situations and figure it out? Like,
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I think they took a big chunk out of the rat poison. They got seconds, from that success of winning a title. And I think heading into this year, we see what that team looks like when your offensive line isn't as dominant as they were.
Yeah.
Like that, it goes to show how good that offensive line was. And without it, they don't look the same at all. They look completely different. They're a team that very much like Nebraska, when they lost their identity of being able to run the football, just kind of trying to figure out what is your identity. You don't really have whatever you think about Tuttle, he's not good enough to where you can just go air raid, and your run game has not been nearly consistent enough to keep you on the field and keep Washington, of all teams, off the field. So this is one where I think early on, I think they took a bite of the rat poison on top of just dealing with all the distractions. On top of, if you want some portal players, they're going to be looking at Michigan being like, you got some problems over there. To your point, I don't know if I want to sign on that because I don't exactly know how it's going to shake out. And now they're at a point in the season, I don't think, they're not doing the proper game prep. They're not scouting really hard. They're trying to win these ball games. But I think they can probably see the writing on the wall. Like, this team it's going to be fighting tooth and nail to pull out.
To even get to a bowl game.
I was going to say, Paul, 3 more wins.
Right.
It's going to be your claw. I mean, we talked about it. Even Northwestern, for whatever you want to say, they're sneaky good, and you just lost to Washington. Northwestern's, especially, I think it's at Northwestern, you're in a temporary field, sleepy, right by the lake, not a lot of eyes on it. Northwestern loves those games. They might catch you there. So, yeah, I
super trap game.
Is this one of the biggest falls we've seen from a title winner?
Wow. 402-464-5685. What is the biggest fall from a title winner? We're going to stay collegiate because we know that we've seen some in
I'd say
in pro
undefeated,
sports.
but we saw Florida State, and I think they might take the belt for that.
Dang, good call. I mean, it's happening in the same season almost, right?
It's
these turnarounds are just kind of crazy. right? You go from basically begging and pleading and crying and whining about not getting into the playoff to like
being too good to play in your bowl game. We're too good for that because we shouldn't even. We should be playing in the national championship game. And what does Georgia do? They should have been in it. They go to their bowl game and they beat the brakes off you. And guess where their season continues? I know they lost to Alabama, but they look like Georgia.
They're still thriving.
Yeah, they have their identity intact. That was always a concern for me with Florida State. And I know this isn't the Florida State segment, but that's a culture issue.
Yeah.
I get that the cards aren't fair. That's going to happen a lot in life. And if you're just going to sit and pout when it's not quote unquote fair, it's a long life because it's going to happen multiple times.
Here's why I don't have any sympathy for Michigan right now. Because I think you understood, and I still think there was some availability there because Michigan only took 8 players in the portal, but guess what they didn't take? A quarterback. So the fact that you're in this position now possibly has a lot to do with the decision makings you and it's the same. Look, I would throw the same thing out to Coach Rule because now I understand you're in a short window. You made your choice, and your decision was to go with Jeff Sims.
Yep.
Big arm. It was high risk, high reward, but you took an L big time. Because I honestly think if they had Casey Thompson still without injury, barring the injury that he suffered, I think he was a better, more accurate quarterback that probably could have got you to a bowl game if he would have stuck around.
I think right? You just count the turnovers.
Yeah.
You're not going to win ball games if you're turning it over that much, especially when it's, you look at Dylan Raiola's turnovers outside of the one to Rutgers where he didn't see the guy. That's his first real pick on the year. But the turnovers he does have are contested. One that shouldn't have been a touchdown. I mean, give credit to Illinois. I don't want to say that. But then you look, I mean, when you're just dropping snaps, missing handoffs, fumbling, like that is just self-inflicted wounds. So, yeah, I mean, it just goes to show, like, if you don't get the right QB in your roster, it's going to be a long season. And that's why I hate picking on Deshaun Watson all the time. That's why I always talk about the Browns.
Yeah.
Like, Deshaun Watson isn't a terrible quarterback.
No.
We saw it with you can't tell me he's terrible.
He's got talent on the ends with, Amari Cooper and the likes of them.
But you run a very West Coast style. It's almost like Baker Mayfield was the perfect fit for your offense.
Yeah.
Almost like he's the guy to finally bring you to a playoff game. But kind of like what we saw in Nebraska, you think you have something that works. You see some eye candy. You go chase the eye candy, and then you get a big dumpster fire as a result.
That's a fact. Here's why I don't have any sympathy because there were elite quarterbacks in the portal that was available for Michigan to be able to grab, snatch, and give a look at. One being Julian Sayin, who was a 5-star, very high on the Wolverines' radar at that time. You could have possibly re-engaged with him. He was there. Cam Ward. You see what he's done
he's been phenomenal.
He's been phenomenal for Miami. I mean, the fact that he's won a couple of games that they probably should have taken an L on.
When they
had a lot to do with him.
Destroyed Florida in that opener. It was like, okay, they got something.
They got something going there. You also had Malik Murphy, who was in there, Kyle McCord, shaky, Sam Levitt, who was at that time at Michigan State.
Howard, he's down at Syracuse right now, tearing it up. Like I get Syracuse isn't a world beater, but he's the guy. He's the reason they're in a lot of those games. And you put him with Michigan will look a hell of a lot better.
Look a lot better. There it is. What are your thoughts? 402-464-5685 as well. Question real quick. Does Michigan even get to a bowl game this year?
How many wins they got right now? How many more do they need?
I want to say they have three, and they've lost one. What, 4-1? 3-1?
Yeah. So right now Michigan is currently 4-2.
4-2.
Yep. Man. So they just need 2 more games. I'm going to say they get there just barely.
They squeak in.
Yeah, they squeak in. I think Michigan State and Northwestern, you got to take care of those because I don't feel good about Illinois, Oregon, Indiana, or Ohio State. Indiana's not going to be scared of that defense. And we'll keep talking more about Indiana as we get through this bye week into the next one. But that offense is electric.
Facts. Unnamed texter 5816 says on the Starter Heyman text line, thanks for chiming in. Don't forget about TCU a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah, they weren't even bowl eligible.
5-7 the year after playing for a title game.
Michigan's trying not to be that this year.
They're trying not to be that. Cupsker says it's hard to scout for a team in 4 to 5 days. I'm going to leave that alone. Cupsker, you're hilarious today. Thank you guys as well. We're going to come back. We'll cross it over. If we cross it over, if not, we're going to turn it over to old school. But someone's here. I haven't seen Jay yet, but that's okay. We'll handle it and take care of business here. Thank you guys again for chiming in. We appreciate you. We'll see you next on the other side of this break.
Hi, this is State Senator Carolyn Bosden. As a state senator, wife, and mom, I believe Nebraska is a great place to work and raise a family. My husband Reggie and I are local family business owners and proud to be involved in our community. Property tax relief is important to every family. Last year, I voted for the largest property tax relief package in Nebraska history, and I will continue to advocate for property tax relief. Vote Carolyn Bosden on November 5th. Paid for by Bosden for Legislature.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
For your next big opportunity, Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and we want to thank all of our customers for a great September. And now it's time for our annual Halloween sales event happening right now at Koppel. Get 0% financing at Koppel. You heard right, 0% financing on select new models. Also, huge discounts up to $11,500 are available. It's our annual Halloween sales event. Get $11,500 off or 0% financing at Koppel. So please stop on by or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did 0% with roof credit.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session, and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies with light south winds and an afternoon high around 86. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with calm winds and a low around 56. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with light winds and an afternoon high around 89. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's another big week of college football, and we've got you covered with a doubleheader right here on 93.7 The Ticket. We start with the Red River rivalry from the Cotton Bowl with a little SEC flavor this year as Quinn Ewers and number 1 Texas takes on number 18 Oklahoma. Broadcast starts at 2 p.m. with kickoff slated for 2:30. Then we jump to the Big Ten for an undefeated showdown between top 5 teams. Number 2, Ohio State travels to Eugene to take on number 3, Oregon. That broadcast starts at 6 p.m. with a 6:30 kickoff. Catch the action on the gridiron all season long here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Whether you like fishing together or fishing to get away, for the thrill of reeling in a big one, or just going out to have a good time, on the banks of your local pond, at a bend in a river, or on one of our many lakes and reservoirs, you'll always find the perfect place to cast a line, here, beneath Nebraska skies. Start planning your next fishing adventure today at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yes. Final segment here. It is a crossover. Old school is in the building, a half of old school, and that is Jay Foreman. What's up, Jay Foreman? How are you today, my friend?
What's popping?
Good, man. We got a break this week, so we're just touching on a lot of other news.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, man. There's always stuff going on, man.
Yeah, it's that time, man. Now basketball is about to take off. They're in there practicing.
Preseason games. You got baseball's in full effect.
Full effect for the playoffs.
Hey, them Padres, boy. The Dodgers sphincter muscle is tight. Magic Man is upset.
Oh yeah, there's no question about it.
The Magic Man.
And you got a big game again. You know what I mean? You calling big games, my boy.
Hey,
we'll be hearing the voice of Jay Feasy on Friday night lights.
Oh yeah. North Star against Grand Island. North Star is North Star is, I coached a few kids in basketball. And just to see these kids, they all decided I want to give a shout out to Malone Panthers. They came up through the Malone Panthers, kind of football team. So that's John Goodwin and stuff. They did a real good job. And then they all decided to stick together and go to North Star. Now you're starting to see, them, get some recognition. Yeah.
That's what's up. Real quick, man. What, a lot of people kind of sometimes, if you chime in here and you'll see a crossover segment with Jay and I, we go hard sometimes, he go hard for LeBron and Stricky go hard for MJ. We get after a little bit. We gonna settle our differences today. We
still got our peace treaty.
We got our peace treaty. We ain't got no beef between me and Jay at this point. But Jay, man, real talk. Something special happened just recently.
Right.
When LeBron finally played in his exhibition game, and he got a chance to play alongside his son for a little bit.
Right.
Some people would say it is gimmicky. Some people would say there's a lot of things some people would say it's just
nepotism
one of those
or whatever. Yeah.
Historical moments that just, you just embark on and you want to take advantage of, and, you want to sell more tickets, more jerseys, it's just one of those
business.
things.
Yeah.
But I still think it's beautiful. Even though I may not be a super, I like LeBron's talent.
Right.
I think he's a talented individual. There's no question about one of the best to do this, I think. But I look at it because I look at it from a standpoint of how is it going to help the Lakers? Maybe it's to get him there because I thought he could have did better, getting it in
college.
Yeah. But I understand this part of it, but like what is the beauty of it for you? Because you have children. Like just think about if you could have played on the football field
with my dad. Yeah.
Or your dad.
It would have been
dope,
it's a great moment. I mean, he has, you also have to be, a little bit empathetic because he had the heart issue. And so that derailed his whole freshman year. And to be honest with you, for him to even, you got to think whether it's MJ's two sons, everybody else. I know Scottie Pippen's son is actually starting to take off a little bit, actually with the Lakers, I think. And then you got Bronny, for him to get to where he's at now. And this is including Scottie Pippen's son, right? Where you follow a legendary dad doing the same thing, kind of the same position. There's a lot that didn't make it. I was looking like Jack Nicklaus and all his sons. None of them made it. In this day and time, when you got miles and miles of people lined up to try to hold you back and say you're not good enough for them to get there. Now, with Bronny, like the stats didn't add up there, but I think when I look at his basketball game and him going back to college, the way he plays, it's no different than what he's doing now. Now, I would, if it was me, I would encourage him to go and play with the local G League team and then kind of go back and forth, right? And you can,
I agree with that.
And that, Strick, you can kind of look at a schedule. It's like, hey, we're probably going to beat them by some. We can get them in here. Let's see how much he's improved and really put forth the effort. I think you would probably lessen the backlash about 30-40%.
I agree. I got to speak to that part because I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Right.
Because when I came up with the Mavericks, I was at the end of the bench.
Right.
I wasn't getting in. The best thing that happened to me was going to the CBA and playing all of those minutes and helping me to raise my game. I think it would benefit him tremendously.
Yeah, tremendously. And I think that you'll see a better version of him towards the end of the year and they're going into off season. And that's their choice. Whether it's nepotism or favoritism, man, that's been going on forever. I mean,
it happens.
It happens there.
The corporate levels.
If you look and you just really, really look at like just the NFL, you got people that are GMs, and then you got
coaches
you got their sons, and they just they're leapfrogging, going and working at a high school or college. They're going straight from college to the pro, and that's fine. And really, as long as they do the work, that's the way it should be. And that's the way it is. And so there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, heck, look at Ed Hockley's son. He's too young to have said that he went and did like high school.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It happens in refereeing too.
And it's everything. In his business, you're gonna people. You went to college with them. So if we all went to college together, and one of us has a big business, and you guys have like businesses that kind of would, I would need, of course I'm going there. I don't need that. I know you guys. And so, I think it can benefit the Lakers. The Lakers is now, they call them Showtime for a reason. They're in a tricky situation as a franchise because they didn't continue. Once they started letting Caldwell Popes leave, JaVale McGee, even Dwight Howard, guys that were, at one point in time, especially Dwight Howard, superstars, but willing to play a role. And then you had the opposites with him and JaVale McGee and then Caldwell Pope. You start letting those guys go. It let me know that the Lakers were going for more show and less basketball. Now, the problem is LeBron's left there to fend for himself, and the roster isn't good enough to compete. And so hopefully now they say, okay, listen, okay, we embarrassed ourselves enough and we'll try to get back. But, I don't mind Bronny being up there. I really don't.
Well, let's hit a quick
station ID.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
One last thing before we get out of here, Jay, and turn it over to old school. When you look at the Western Conference, it's crazy. A little bit earlier, we're talking about the Phoenix Suns, and I personally think it's make or break for them this year as far as what decisions they need to make going forward.
Yeah, that mix.
What's going on there.
A lot of teams in the West have gotten stronger, gotten better. They've made some additions. They've identified maybe some areas of weakness, and they've made some additions. Active. All of them have been active. Right? Dallas, and I have an affinity for them. Obviously, some would know because I played there, but they've acquired like a superstar in its time, but someone that still, I always believe that shooters shoot.
Yeah.
And they will forever shoot. Long careers out of Ray Allen and the likes of those guys, even
Dell
Dirk,
Curry.
all them, because if you can stroke it, you can stay around for a long time, right? So with that in mind, how do you think let me say this. Do you believe that we'll see a resurgence, a revived Klay Thompson being now in Dallas, away from all of the, the stuff that he dealt with as far as with management and all that?
Yeah, I think you will. I think if people are just going to look at the points per game, then you're doing yourself a disservice. I think you'll see a more energized and more efficient player on defense. And then I think about the middle of the season, it's either before, obviously All-Star break is about 2/3 through the season, but after the first quarter of the season, once he figures out spacing with those two guys and he bails them out, because Luka is going to pound the ball. 5 seconds later, he kicks it out and he starts hitting those wide open threes. I think you're going to start to see, because he can still shoot. And so you're going to see a more efficient, Klay Thompson. I still think he has energy in the tank, gas in the tank. I think for him, being in that franchise, being one of the original Splash Brothers, always kept his nose clean. Yes, they stuck by him when he got injured, but the contract was guaranteed, so you really didn't do anything, right? He's came back. He's a fan favorite. And for him to kind of always be, this is probably on Dunleavy, right? And we know what's the former GM that dipped in football?
Mark. Oh gosh.
And he didn't want to make this decision.
He didn't want to make. Gosh.
So it came down. It came down to
the former GM.
Yeah, Mark Myers. Mark Myers. His last name is Bob Myers.
Bob Myers.
Yeah. So it came down between Draymond and Klay, and I truly think they could have kept Klay, but I think they kind of like, all right, we got Wiggins and all this other stuff. So, I think he'll be highly motivated.
Okay. We're gonna get out, but in this last thing, just my last word as we close. I remember looking at the Miami Heat and remembering a LeBron, and by no means am I trying to say Luka's LeBron, but he's his own
deal.
He's got his own way of getting busy.
Yeah.
Right. And then you have Kyrie, which is his own version of Dwayne Wade.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
it's a good mix.
And one of the things that they had Bosh.
But Ray Allen was
there you go. That to me, the Ray Allen edition is what saved them for one of them titles.
Yeah.
Because they lose to San Antonio if it wasn't for Ray Allen.
Right.
And I'm kind of looking at it from that. I can kind of see him becoming the Ray Allen of the Dallas.
And they had to let down the year before too. Like against it. So yeah, I can see it happening. Luka's got to get in a little bit better shape, play some D, but then he'll be fine.
There it is. Thank you for joining us here on the block. We've got to get out of here. We'll see you old school next. 937 The Ticket. We out.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Hi, this is State Senator Carolyn Bosson. Education is a cornerstone for strong, vibrant communities. I voted for the largest investment in education in Nebraska history. As a state senator, wife, and mom, I believe Nebraska is a great place to work and raise a family. My husband Reggie and I are local family business owners and understand the valuable role of education in growing our community. This is Carolyn Bosson, and I will continue to support education in the legislature. Vote Carolyn Bosson on November 5th. Paid for by Bosson for Legislature.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology.